How's it going, gang? It's a final render here, and welcome back to Fallout 76 for another Fallout 76 camp building video. And I've got to say, people, you lot have been knocking it out of the park right now. We are literally, at the time of recording, 5 subscribers away from 55,000 subscribers. That's pretty darn incredible. Thank you very much for all the new people who've been coming in to tune into the channel and tune into some fantastic Fallout 76 content. We've got some cool stuff coming up on the channel pretty soon, including a full Let's Play of Metro Exodus and also Subnautica Below Zero. That's really good. But if you don't want to watch any of those, there's still going to be plenty of Fallout 76. So come and join me in this video, which is the hardest build we have done so far. So the reason this is the hardest build we have done so far is our location. This location is a really big cliffside just to the west of the Cranberry Bog. And it's a really cool location because it has got a giant cliff with a resource deposit at the top and at the bottom. At the very top of this cliff, we have got lead. Very important for making bullets. You need that in order to go and smelt it down with the acid and turn it into ingots and then turn it into bullets. But at the very bottom of the cliff, in a hidden little cave, right in this little crevice in here, we have an acid deposit. So this basically means if we can utilize both of these deposits, it means we can get lead at the top of the cliff and then go down to the bottom of the cliff, grab the acid, and then make ourselves an unlimited supply of bullets, which is something we've really needed ever since they kind of nerfed the ability to just get raw lead out of the ground. But the reason why this build is very difficult is the location. We are about 100 meters away from a fisher site, and we also get lots of other nasties coming to attack as well, such as the Mothman, for example, sometimes turns up. So this is a very dangerous location, and no joke, we had to kill about 20 Scorch Beasts in order to complete this build. So let's get going with probably one of the hardest and complicated builds we've done so far. So there actually is a height limit to your camp. You can't just put it down at the bottom. So in order to get both of the resource extractions at the top and the bottom, I need to place my camp unit down halfway up the cliff. I think you've got something like roughly 100 feet or so of camp height. That's just judging it by eye. So going and placing it right in the middle of the cliff means I'll get access to both deposits at the top and the bottom, but also I had to move my camp unit within the camp in order to make sure I spawned at the top of the cliff, because if I just placed it at the bottom, I would spawn inside the cliff. A lot of people don't realize if you move your camp unit within your camp, that will determine your spawn point. So I had to spend a lot of time to work out where I could place it so I'd spawn at the top of the lead deposit. Otherwise, I'd have to run around the entire mountain. And starting on the inside of the cave, we're going to place down some wooden flooring. A really nice thing about the acid deposits is that it's got a slight slope on it, which means you can actually intersect wooden foundations into an acid deposit and still place an acid extractor in here, which is really cool. It means we can actually get a flat, solid foundation and still have a resource extractor in there, which is super cool. And we've got just a little bit of room to put one of the big generators in there. Fits in perfectly. It's like a nun's glove, that is. And then we were able to put up some lights in here in order to make it feel kind of like a mine, almost kind of like a secret chemistry lab, you know, maybe a drugs den or something. And it looks really good with all these lights in here. And we actually have a surprising amount of space. It means not only are we able to get a really big generator in there along with the extractor, but we're also able to decorate this place and make it look like a cool science lab in a way. So going ahead and using one of the decontamination showers, you always have those in science labs after all, I'm able to get rid of a lot of my rads. An annoying thing about the decontamination arch is you need to connect up a switch in order to get it to work properly, otherwise it will just run constantly. Kind of an annoyance, but it's not really a problem. And we're able to put down lots of shelving, lots of storage, and also an awful lot of our crafting materials and items in here. We're able to get our weapons bench, our armor bench, we're able to get a terminal in here, we're also able to get our tinkerer's workbench inside this little cave here. And it starts to feel, as I said, almost kind of like a chem lab. If I actually knew some more ingredients to chems, I probably could go and make a camp which is all about chem farming in a way, but unfortunately I don't really have that many right now, so we're going to go with this bullet farm here. And of course we need our decorations, don't we? Again, kind of going with like a science lab feel, put up lots of plants and stuff like that, lots of herbs almost as if you're studying them. And here we are with our secret cave lab built. This place looks ace. I really like the way this looks. We have quite a lot of space in here to put cool decorations and also make it feel like a place that is lived in. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's being properly built it does feel like it has been put together very quickly and easily by an individual. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get walls in here, but I do have some cool things. I've got light switches, for example, so I can turn off all the lights in the place, which is really, really cool. I've also got the decontamination arch and lots of cool little lights to make the place feel bigger than it actually is. Even though, as I said, it is pretty big. You've only probably got about 20 square feet in order to place everything, but having all the lights and having everything against the wall makes it feel bigger. And now for our lead extractor right up atop. I put a tent down first because then it means I am able to place items inside the tent. If you place the tent down after, the tent will appear on top of the item. And we are able to protect our lead extractor. Once we've got our lead extractor in here, we are able to get a wall pass through and connect it up. Unfortunately, I actually had to start this build again, so you don't actually have any final footage of this thing working. But rest assured, if you take the time to make sure you can actually place down everything, then it should work in theory. Just got to make sure you've got enough height to also add all of your wiring. I was slightly short on the height. And now, we need a little place to live after all, because I wasn't able to get every crafting station inside the little acid farm. I was only able to get some of them. So we're going to build a little apartment almost where whoever is working in this lead farm will spend their time, chill out, and also keep themselves safe from all the scorched beasts. We're able to put up some of these concrete barriers in order to kind of hide the gap and make it look like you've got a hallway leading directly into the secret cave, along with an entirely metal house. I needed a metal house because we are so close to the scorched beasts. As I said, we had to kill about 20 scorched beasts in order to get this build working. They would respawn every 10 minutes or so at increasingly high levels. So they would first spawn at a level 50, we'd kill it, 10 minutes later there'd be a level 65, and having metal walls actually does give you more durability on your building. I tested it. The wooden ones were melted by the scorched beasts immediately, but the metal ones were just fine. So therefore, actually having different materials does give your building different strength, which is a nice thing we've learned. And of course, we're going to make this place almost look kind of like a nice living room. We've got a cooking stove in there. We've also got a chemistry station in there. Wasn't able to get that into the actual cave over across the way, so we'll go and put it in here. And of course, we do like the idea of having it next to the stove because it makes it look like a kind of corner kitchen area because it's got a sink and some extra workspace and stuff. And of course, we also need a little dining room area. We did have some ghouls come in for tea because obviously the scorched beasts do actually bring on regular scorched as well, and they would just spend their time hammering away. It started to feel like a zombie simulator after a while because they kept breaking down the walls in order to try to get to me. But the metal is standing up quite well, and we're able to get lots of decorations in here, including lots of lights. We've got the Nuka-Cola Quantum Lights, which I really, really adore. I think that's a really nice item from the Atomic Shop. And we've also got lots of space to add our little kitchen area. The nice thing about building a little kitchen in here is that since we're able to divide this place up by using different floor patterns, it means that we have what feels like multiple rooms inside what is essentially just one room. Using these half walls, we're able to kind of segment everything off to make it feel like a studio apartment in a way. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of like the one room design. It feels like it's a bit more cozier, you know, because you've got everything all together in one room. Maybe that's just me, but I kind of like studio apartment kind of things. We're also able to make a small living room in here, which works really, really well. Once you put a rug down and get some of these really nice end tables, it starts to feel like quite a nice place to sit and chill. You just got to keep in mind that there is a scorched beast outside, quite a lot. We're also able to put lots of conduits on the walls. Thankfully, you are able to get lots of flat area to put things like conduits inside the cave because it's kind of built up of these big granite rocks, so it means you actually are able to place down wall decorations. Not big ones like signs, but things like conduits you can place on the cave walls. And I wanted to have all of my power conduits on the roof of the building because I didn't want any wires going through the building. And I now finally have the neon lights. I have the neon lights, which is fantastic. You will notice there is someone running around in this video. That person is Psycho Girl, and she was able to give me some cool decoration plans, including the neon lights. And not only that, but she was also able to protect me from the scorched beasts. As long as the scorched beasts were attacking someone, they wouldn't attack the base. So therefore, having some guards, you know, some of you guys who watch the videos protecting me while I build this was an absolute necessity. So thank you very much to Psycho Girl for all the cool plans and also, of course, protecting me while I build this little apartment in here. And now we just need to add a few more little decorations to make it feel a bit more lived in, like a little desk area, and I can call the main building done. Now I needed to make something that was kind of resembling a cloakroom in a way, you know, a place you would put your coat. We don't have any coats in this game, but we do have power armor stations, so I was able to kind of glitch a power armor station right against the wall to make it look like this where you would dump off your power armor before going outside. I then put up some simple decorations in order to make it feel lived in. And here we go with our living room, kitchen, sleeping area, everything like that, our studio apartment, all done. This place looks really, really nice actually. We've got quite a lot of space in here despite it only being a 4 kind of square foundation building. It works really, really well. And as I said, we had to go with the metal because the metal is what gives us the most protection from the Scorched Beast. Brick might have worked, but not as good as metal, and it also makes it a bit different. You know, I'm always using the brick plan, so it's quite nice to go and add some of the metal buildings in there into the channel. And of course, we've got some really nice wall decorations, including some Mr. Pebble signs and also the neon lights, which are awesome. The neon lights are a little glitched at the minute. You can't snap them together properly. They kind of look a bit janky when you do that, but you can put them on the walls normally, and they look pretty good. And here is the actual building from the outside. It looks alright actually. It doesn't look too fancy from the outside. It just looks like a little metal shack. But of course, it is protecting a very valuable secret right at the back. You've got one of the most valuable resources in the game, acid and lead, just behind it. And of course, all the wiring going back into the cave makes this place feel quite practical. It makes it feel like you haven't actually got many resources to build generators and stuff like that. And of course, we needed our generator inside the cave to protect it from Scorched Beasts. So here we go, gang. Here is the build fully done. We've got a fantastic little cave base. It's honestly one of the best things I've decorated in 76, I think, so far. And we have got our home here with some really nice, cool new decorations, which are very hard to get. So thank you very much for donating those, Psycho Girl. And thank you very much to everyone who has been watching. Remember, guys, 5 subs away from 55k. In fact, by the time I upload this, we might have hit it. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to check out the cool Patreon people in the description below who help support the channel with their financial donations. You, of course, can also do the same. And I'll see you around. This has been the final render, and you've been the audience. Bye-bye for now.